Tottenham. Igor Tudor has left his role as interim head coach after just 44 days and 7 matches. Spurs have said they mutually agreed with him to part ways with immediate effect. This all comes after that damaging 3-0 home defeat by fellow strugglers Nottingham Forest.
Sweeps his right footed cross to a 1-0, 3-0. 3-0 to Nottingham Forest in a game that Tottenham had to win, and the Tottenham fans flood out of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Flooding away, not in their tens, not in their hundreds. They are flooding away in their thousands. Tottenham a beaten side yet again.
Let's speak to Spurs fan Chris Cowlin. Morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Let's talk about your club then. They have parted with Igor Tudor. I think everyone knew that was going to happen. Like, there was not really any way that he could continue, given that the whole premise of him being appointed was, well, this guy comes in and he gets results immediately. And he did get results immediately, and they were terrible.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He was brought in to be an impact at Tottenham Hotspur, and it hasn't been the right decision. It's been a very, very strange decision, in my opinion. And his 44 days have gone down as a bit of a disaster in the Premier League, because those 4 games that we lost against Arsenal, Fulham, Palace and Nottingham Forest, they were, tough games to take, and we were very, very well beaten. And we are in a really big problem at the moment. And, we've gone through 3 managers since May 2025, and we've had more managers than we've actually had Premier League home wins in that 10 months. And this is the problem we're in at the moment. And, sitting 1 point above the relegation zone, we could be in the bottom 3 the next time we play, when we face Sunderland away in just under 2 weeks' time. But I think this decision now of Igor Tudor departing, this next decision is probably one of the biggest decisions in, Premier League era for us. Yeah. So it's what Spurs do next.
Well, survival is what's resting us. Survival in the Premier League.
Absolutely. And I think that, 44 plus days ago, I think all of us Spurs fans were sitting here saying that we need someone connected to the club, either an ex-player or an ex-manager, someone who knows the club, someone that it means a lot to, and the fans are going to get behind. And, to appoint Igor Tudor was a very, very strange decision. But I'm not sitting here blaming him, because there are so many issues at the football club, poor decisions made in recent years and poor decisions made this season. And it now looks like they're going to, really try hard for Roberto De Zerbi to come in. But if you ask many Spurs fans right now, they want someone who knows the club, and most people want Pochettino back in the summer. So it looks like again that Spurs are going against what the fans actually want.
But he wouldn't be available until the summer anyway. Who would you appoint right now?
Well, I hope that there is still time, and I am living in hope as a Spurs fan. These remaining 7 games are absolutely huge, and I would go down the route of an ex-player or an ex-manager, because there are plenty of them out there wanting the job. I just hope that it's not too late, because many people you talk to, I think a lot of people are now resigned to us playing the Championship, because when you look at the teams around us, they're putting in a lot more fight and desire, a lot more energy and passion than these players. But these players, whoever does come in, they just need to try and get the best out of these players, because we know that they're capable of a lot more. But will a lot of these players want to be putting in crunching tackles and putting in the energy when the World Cup's coming up in the summer? I hope they do. But when you look at recent performances, they just haven't been good enough.
I mean, the only team that made you look half decent was Liverpool. You're very welcome, Chris. If Roberto De Zerbi is available and wants the job, do you think he could keep you up?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I'm sitting here. I'd love to sit here and be really confident saying we're going to stay up. But, from what we've seen in recent weeks and recent months, and particularly this season, it just hasn't been good enough. And, someone just needs to come in and give these players energy and belief.
Bit of a kick up the backside, I think.
Yeah, I'm sitting here, honestly scratching my head, and it's really worrying times for us, because we certainly don't want to go down to the Championship, because when you look at that Championship table, a lot of teams go down, over the years, and they just don't return. And I think some people think, if Spurs go down, it might be a good reset. I don't think so at all. I think Spurs need to be a Premier League team.
Whenever they went down, didn't they? And what's your gut saying then? Do you survive, or are you going down?
I think it's 50-50. I honestly think that it's going to go all the way down to the last game of the season. But like I said, I think, or I just hope that these players do have the energy, do put in the fight, and whoever does come in, galvanises this team and gets the best out of them.
Is there just quickly, and then I will let you go. Is there any defence on the basis of the injuries that you've had? And and I know all teams have injuries, but you have been particularly badly affected.
Yeah, of course, and that is another problem at the football club, the medical department. We've gone through so many different staff, and yes, there have been injuries. You take Dejan Kulusevski, for example. He's been out injured, and it was meant to be just a knock, and that was 10 months ago. And all of these managers have come and gone. He hasn't even played a game under them. So yes, we've had a lot of injuries, but there is more than enough quality, or there should be more than enough quality in these games to get a lot more out of these players. The players are underperforming. So there are problems in all departments at the moment, but this goes straight back to the board of a lot of poor decisions. So a lot of things need to change in the summer.
Good speaking to you, Chris. Cheers. Have a good week.
You.
Spurs fan Chris Cowlin there.